Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the DJ Sessions Presents the Virtual Sessions. I'm your host, Darren, and right now I'm sitting in the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington, and I believe this is a first. We have Amir Sharara coming in from Dubai. Did I get the last name right?
Yes, you got it.
Thank you so much, Amir, for being on the DJ Sessions today. How is it
Thank
going
you.
out there? What time is it over there right now?
Now it's 11:40 p.m.
11:40 p.m. Well, thank you for coming on our show. I know that you just came right out of the studio for your show, Ibiza Global Radio. And can you tell our fans about that? Sometimes, it's very interesting. We'll get right into it. I had another DJ who just finished a set. He was on a nightclub. I can't remember exactly where it's at. Not Morocco, but somewhere. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm in the hotel lobby. I just finished my set in the nightclub. Came out here to the hotel lobby. I got pizza and your interview. So thank you for coming on in such a late hour with us. Tell us about Ibiza Global Radio.
So Ibiza Global Radio is one of the most famous local Spanish radio station based in Ibiza, the island in Spain. And recently, like almost maybe 3 years back, one guy here lives in the UAE. He kind of got the franchise to have Ibiza Global Radio UAE version in Dubai, based in Dubai. And he got a contact with all with all the artists and DJs around the city, and the people that's sharing the events, people to come. And of course they have like a full intense program with a mix of different artists. So they have like fixed artists from Ibiza themselves, and a set of local artists, and they're giving us the like good, nice, cool slots during the week, on weekends, and on the weekends, weekdays, and on the weekends there is other slots during the day, like morning sessions and afternoon sessions and stuff like that. So my show is every Wednesday, 9 p.m. And when they contacted me, they were more interested to have a little bit of commitment to actually play live from the studio. So it's more lively. It's different. Instead of you just sitting on your at home alone, and you just like mix it on your laptop or mix it on your on my DJ equipment and then send it over. So it's more like having the live effect and factor in it. So yeah, I've been doing it for 6 months now, and the best part that the last almost 2 months, they installed like a 360 camera, and it's a virtual reality, a VR as well. So we go streaming on YouTube with a 360, so you can actually have a 360 degree view of the studio while I'm playing. So it's very fun. It's so much fun. You guys, maybe after that you can check it out.
I saw that and I was like, wow, that's awesome, because I love watching people use new technology. We've been doing live streaming for just about 13 years. I've been in the industry for a number of years. And, when we saw everyone jump on board and start doing live streaming a few years ago, I watched everyone go through the same progression that we went through when we were first streaming from my living room, in my bedroom. Then I got the studio. Then we got the mobile studio, and then we got bigger studios, and then we started doing on-location live streaming. And I love the 360 camera, because that when that starts getting used, when it's going to be able to be used in a multiple capacity. So imagine setting up multiple 360 cameras. So you could have one over here behind the DJ, one in front of the DJ, one in the crowd, one up above, and you're going to be able to go get different views as you're going around, but it'll all be tied into the same musical performance. And you might even be able to get people to wear a hat with a 360 camera on top of it and walk through the club. And now you're in the club and you're looking around like you're a participant in the club. That's going to happen. That is going to come down the pipeline. I am super excited for that kind of stuff to start taking place, because it's that leads into the conversation I love talking about, virtual reality and being able to experience this in not a 2D environment anymore. I mean, it's awesome, I'm sure, to watch your show and you're kind of looking around the studio. You can kind of see who's back behind the camera, who's in front of the camera, what's going on. But being able to put on your glasses or when the AR goggles come out, and you're going to be able to, we're going to start watching TV or be able to have an experience, and we could immerse ourselves in that club. We might even be able to go to a blank space and be dancing with you inside of your studio, and other people can see our avatar dancing in your 3D spot. I mean, that's all coming in the pipeline, and we're super excited. So when I saw that, I was like, that's some awesome stuff. Have you used the 3D? Have you used the 360 camera anywhere else in any other things, or was that the first time?
No, this is the first time. And the usual live stream I did before was just a normal still camera. And I managed to do during the lockdown, I managed to do my own kind of directing. I had two phones and I connected with the OBS, etc. So just to break the idea of just watching one screen, and I just did the automation between shifting both screens. It was so much fun, and people were shocked. They're like, "Oh my God, who's sitting with you? Who's changing the cameras?" Like, guys, it's just automated. It took me 3 hours to do the setup with the lighting, and then I realized that when I move in front of the lights, it just kind of mess up with the focus. It was kind of like a project, but I managed to do it. I did a couple of live streams during the lockdown.
A lot of people always thought for years, they thought that what we did was easy. Like, oh, you just go in, you press a button, and boom, you stream. It's like, no. And then you got to understand, it's not the technical aspects that's hard. You also have to build to have an online following, an online audience, and you got to determine what time of day what day of the week you're going to go on, what time of the day you're going to go on. When you look and you see who you might be going up against when you're going on, and all that fun stuff. And, it was a very interesting process watching everyone jump online, and my phone was ringing off the hook, emails coming in, Facebook messages, Instagram messages, everyone, how do I do this? What do I use? What do I use? And I used to have a philosophy that 98% of the information I would give away for free. Like, you're going to find it online. I'll help you out. I'll help you out. I'll help you out. But then I found out I was helping out all my competition. And I was like, wait a second. Maybe I shouldn't be giving away all this information for free. Maybe you should go through the same learning points and pain points that I have over the years, because we're always growing and developing and building something new. Like we were talking earlier before the show started, that, we just launched our new website, and you were talking about our website, how there's so much information there, and you can go back using the Wayback Machine and take a look at version 1 of the DJ Sessions website in 2013 and what was there. And it's like, wait a second. Now you look at version 2, then you look at version 3, and it's just the progress. And now we have VR nightclubs. So I'm super excited. If you're ever looking to do something,
the metaverse is kicking in now big time.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're ever looking to do something, go ahead.
I was just listening to an audiobook 2 days ago about the metaverse, and everybody needs to get ready. Like you have to enhance your skill set, and the builders. The builders means that you can buy a land and you can hire someone that just build it for you, and it's gonna be crazy.
I got an Oculus last year about this time. Maybe in April of last year. Within 2 days of owning it, I went and bought my mom and my dad one. And then a couple months later, I was talking to my friend. I said, you know what? I need to get a presence in the metaverse. And where 100%. I see the metaverse being it is what a website was in 1995, 96, 97, the .com boom. That is what VR is right now. And you need to get something in there now to start branding yourself there now and reaching out in there now, or getting fans of yours, type and say, do any of my fans do VR? If you do, I'm looking to build a space. Would you come and check it out? Would you be able to have, and you'll find a fan of yours out there going, I have an Oculus. I have an Oculus. Yes, let's go here. This is the best world. And get you into it a little bit. And maybe even they could help you moderate it a little bit. But that is the next level. If people aren't talking VR right now, I don't think you're ready for the next 5 to 15 or even 25 years. And you're going to jump into it so late that everyone that got into it is going to have such a foothold on it. And that's why we have 2 nightclubs in alt space, and we're launching in other places. We're going to get ready to grand open those here soon, and would love to have you come by and play a mix and whatnot. But speaking of shows, enough about us. We're here to talk about you. Speaking of shows and the Ibiza Global Radio Show, are there any other regular shows or live streams that you listen to on a regular basis?
To be honest, as live, just radio shows every week. I have a couple of people that they are kind of like inspiration, or just I just like to listen to them. And the interesting part that I like diversity of music, because it's kind of like healthy for me, for my brain and for my ears, not to get stuck only with one genre. Even you will feel it even in my sets. Like every 2-3 weeks, I kind of shift a little bit from a different direction, but all within the spectrum of like more housey stuff. So you take it all the way from like deep tech, deep vocal stuff up to like progressive house and stuff like that. So it's very interesting for me to always keep like shuffling between both. So I listen to, for example, Noura and Poor. Purified radio show. This is the style of melodic progressive that I like. Eleke Klein from Holland, from the Netherlands. I also listen to Joris Vorn, Spectrum Radio, because it's more of the like also uplifting techie, techno-ish, groovy style. There's so many others that I keep pumping into and I keep shuffling. It depends on where I am, but these are like the main stuff. And I also like there's one guy from Ibiza with more beach houses, Luis Dilvar, something like that. Also very interesting, very nice fluffy house beach music. Also, this is just during the day. It's just a mix of different stuff.
And I was listening to your summer 2022 mix. And I always listen to a mix to get me ready for an interview of the DJ tracks while I'm doing the research. And I got about 32 minutes in so far, right before we had to start the interview. But yeah, I was feeling that. I mean, that was making me feel, I love that.
That's the proggy melodic side of me. I realized that down core in my heart, it's always progressive house from the old style when you used to Global Underground, Dave Seaman, on the John DeGuy, Sasha, all this style. This is how I got into the electronic music scene, and this is for me the core, and it will never change. Like Nick Warren, Hernan Catania, and I was fortunate enough even to also share the decks with them back in Egypt. And this is, and I love that even it got evolved in a little bit, like the sound it's more clearer, nice quality and stuff, but still they got the essence of this melodic proggy. For me, the style is always not need to be non-stop uplifting groove. The groove for me is the key. It doesn't matter what genre, as long as there is a groove that makes you like move a little bit. So I'm glad that you enjoyed the first half.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, we know you were born in the 80s, but what got you into music, electronic music, and DJing?
So it all started by just the normal kid that loves music. I got my first Discman CD on my birthday when I was like maybe 12 years or 13 years old. But normal, like I think we both are kind of around the same age. So we went through the passing through like listening to the radio. MTV launched, and this era was fun. And then the usual started by when the electronic music started, when it all started by like this techno-ish style, like the fast, very basic techno-ish. And then I don't know, I just got hooked. I liked it. I like all kinds of music, but this really hooked me up. And then I became friends with so many DJs. I was looking up to them in Cairo, in Egypt. I used to go to a lot of events. This is funny. The first event I went to was kind of like, it was not rave, but it was more of an event with the DJ competition. I was 12 years old or 13 years old. It was so weird. People were shocked, like, why, what are you guys doing here? So it was me and a friend of mine. And then the whole thing shifted when I got into trance, because it was also so huge at that time when it comes back to Tiesto and Ferry Corsten, Paul van Dyk, etc. And then I went to Ibiza. This was literally, oh my God, I'm feeling old. 21 years ago, 2001. This was the changing point. I went there. I'm like, oh my God, I need to do this. I need to to have a piece of this. But it's a mix of like passion, of me being into the scene for like so many years when I was a kid. So it made sense, kind of like, why don't I give it a try? I'm paying money to have this type of experience. I'm loving it. I know all the DJs, I know all the tracks, and I realized something, that I was spending so much money actually collecting music. And I'm sharing it with actually the DJs that are actually playing, and I go to their gigs and they're playing my music, but they're getting the kind of like the response. I'm like, why and how? And like, this is where it all started. So I came back from Ibiza, like, I need to give it a try. So I started like renting equipment. I didn't have, of course, much money to get like the full setup, so I was renting. I started practicing at home. Of course, it was all like a mess, but at that time, when I was chatting with a lot of guys online with the sharing platforms like SoulSeek and all these kind of stuff, I saw one of the questions actually, that what I'm going to say, answer it was like, what was the best advice you ever had? So one guy told me, don't give up, practice makes perfect. So this is when I said, you know what, give it a keep going, then until I got it. Of course, I got kind of a help with some other DJ friends here and there, giving me their tips and tricks and stuff like that. And then, that was it. Practice makes perfect. And then I recorded a set. Was not the best type of mixing, but it was good, nice collection of music, my style, my view, and it's all updated and stuff. And then I gave it to, at that time, there was a radio station in Egypt called Night FM, and they had a weekly show called The Hot Mix, and they have 2 hours, 1 hour local artist DJ and an international DJ the second hour. And I pumped into the guy in one of the events. So I had the CD with me because I felt that they were sponsoring or something like that. So I thought they were going to be there. And I handed the CD to the guy. I was like, here, this is my mix, etc. La la la. Would be great if you just give it a listen. 2 weeks later, I'm chilling with a friend of mine. And then I get an SMS like, Amir, nice music on the radio. I was like, what? So it turns out the guy actually aired the mix without even telling me, because I didn't give him my number or something like that. And I keep getting SMSs, people are listening, because at that time it was like huge, like everybody's on the radio, everybody's listening. I'm like, no way. So I turned on the radio, my friend recorded. I'm like, oh my God, is it really happening? It was one of the best feelings ever, to be honest.
It's crazy that I don't know if you saw the question that Villabreak just asked. What do you think is the biggest break that launched your DJ career? And do you think that was the moment that launched your DJ career?
100%. This was literally, this was a turning key, one of the turning keys. There is, because there is always like kind of milestones, but this one that put me like, oh my God. And the beauty about it, that was unexpected. It was totally random, and the guy did it. And also this tells you something, that if the guy aired it, it means that he liked it. You know what I mean? Like, he was not just gonna air it, but the idea is like, he didn't tell me, which is totally fine. But at least, and since then, wow, I got like, wow, because I received massive response and feedback, which really, like, it was overwhelming, and I'm like, it's amazing. And then since then I started mixing more, and then I got the hang of it, and I started sharing more of mixes. And you cannot imagine the amount of people that I got to meet and became actually friends, best friends, just from this mix and the following mixes, because people bump into you, it's like, oh my God, you're Amir Sharara. Oh my God, I listened to you on the LFM. This is amazing. Da, 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 da. And I hear stories like, where were they, and how they were when they listened to da 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 da, and they call their friends like, you're not gonna believe who I'm standing with. This is Amir Sharara. It's just amazing. This is beautiful. And the second milestone might be when I got my first artwork, like a flyer for an event with my picture on it. I almost fainted when I saw that. It was.
That's awesome. And so what defines the term DJ for you?
That's a tricky question. For me, just someone that create a good vibe and a good mood and atmosphere, depending on the location, depending on the venue, depending on the timing, depending on so many variables, like how this person can actually absorb all these variables and create the vibe that match what's happening around. This is the way I look at it. This is for me is very important. And from a musical perspective, of course, yeah, this is me, and I have to say that just you need to educate. Like jukebox doesn't work for me. I always educate, and every single gig I need to throw a couple of tracks that are brand new, and I don't know, because I am me as a listener. I would hate my life if I go to the same venue or go to the same DJ and I'm listening to the same playlist with different arrangements. It doesn't work for me. So I always appreciate people that are updated. There are people throwing new stuff, like remixes, mashup. This is very, 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 very interesting for me.
And how has your experience been seeing the rise of electronic music in the US market? Is it different than the European and the Middle Eastern market? And which
Yeah.
scenes do you find more appealing?
No, you guys are on another level now. I was just actually in March. I was in Orlando. I was playing a gig in Orlando, like a private event, like an all-white party in downtown Orlando. It was so much fun. And then I did Miami for the music conference, but I didn't play. I was just going, catching up with friends and people I know. And it was also my birthday, 25th of March.
Hello.
But 3 years ago I went to I think Electric Daisy Carnival. Yeah, Electric Daisy, the one that's happening in New York on the island, Staten Island. I don't remember. I think it's Electric. I was wowed. It was from a production perspective. I was like, okay, because I've been in so many festivals, like it's crazy. I toured Australia, like also 11 years ago. I played in Holland. I played in Belgium. So when it comes to the US market, you guys are on an amazing another level now. When I see EDC in Vegas, wow, you're like very, very, very. For me, it's all about the production and the experience. Okay, because the music, the DJs is touring, and we hear the music, but it's all about the experience. I was just also watching Tomorrowland. Wow. So Europe for me is top notch. Europe, especially Holland, the Netherlands, is the best in the world. I've been going since 2005, Sensation White, and then I didn't stop since then. Every year or two I go, and I literally went to so many festivals, even local festivals that you don't even find foreigners there, and people got shocked, like, what are you doing here? Like and even the guys and the MCs, they don't speak English, they speak pure Dutch, just because they know that there is no foreigners. For me, Holland is the best experience. It's just because it's a really big part of the culture. Like you party. I was super young. I'm going and I look at my right side. I see a guy and his wife, 60 years old, and they're like partying like there's no tomorrow, and they're wearing more funky clothes than me. It's just like it's just amazing. Literally just fascinating. And I'm really excited to go to this festival called Loveland in 2 weeks. Just amazing. And also I'm playing a pre-party happening on the 12th. Yeah.
And now you're based out of the Middle East. You're based out of Dubai.
Dubai.
And
correct, yeah.
I saw a picture. before we get into talking about Dubai, though, I went to EDC for my first time last year, and you're right, the level of production is off the scale. I mean, it was completely. I was lucky enough to go, and the friend that took me there, hey Jay, what's up? Shout out if you're watching. That took me there. He said, "You're lucky because normally you can't see the concrete. There's so many people, you can't see the ground." And we went there, and it wasn't that many people there. And they held it in October instead of they held it earlier in the year, like May, I believe, because it just happened. But they held it in October, so it was a little bit cooler weather instead of being like 100 degrees in the middle of the night. So he goes, "You're seeing this in a really comfortable way of being able to walk around, not have to push through crowds." We had VIP, but still, it was like, it was massive. I was so impressed. You're right with the production level and volume and the scale of things that EDC really took my heart as well. I love those bigger festivals, but I do love the bigger outdoor all-inclusive festivals.
Yes.
Those are really my favorite, where you're in the whole, your campgrounds are in the festival and you're in the festival. You can go to your tent, your RV, wherever, eat food, pick out what you want to do, but it's all like a week long or 4 or 5 days long. And you're there and just you get to immerse and kind of get a chance to explore. And it isn't so commercial. Not that I have problems with sponsors or being commercial, by the way. But, now going to look at Dubai, it was recently, I just saw a picture online. I think it was Dubai in the 1980s and Dubai now. It was like, you could almost say it was like Vegas in like the 40s. Like it was a nonstop, one shack, nothing there in Vegas, and then looked at Vegas in like 50s, and now look at Vegas in the 90s, and now look at Vegas in 2022, and how it just sprawled. And Dubai just happens to be, looks like one of the most beautiful cities in the world. What's it like to be a DJ there in Dubai?
Yeah, man, it's so much fun, to be honest. I've been here 11 years. I was fortunate enough to actually to get a chance to get like kind of like a job, I got hunted for a job for my day job. Can speak about it later. And yeah, it's been life changing, to be honest, because it's so cosmopolitan. You get to meet so many people from all over the world, especially the location of UAE. It's in the middle of between Asia and Europe, so everybody's stopping over between Asia to Africa or Europe or sometimes to the US. And it's just amazing, and it evolves like quickly, like in big time. I know there might be a lot of random thoughts and some negative impressions about it that I see on YouTube and stuff like that, but anybody, and I believe these people didn't come, they just they see stuff and they just comment about it. But if you come and you experience living, actually not even living, visiting itself is just another experience, because it's so clean, safe, and you have like kind of like a stress-free life, when it comes to like no crime, and it's just a beautiful peace of mind. Okay. And when it comes to entertainment, they really know how to entertain the residents and the visitors, because they support all these kind of events happening across the whole city, from big massive events when it comes to artists all the way to comedy shows. You know what I mean? It's just like you have something for every type of crowd and every type of segment. And this is beautiful, because maybe in my home country there are some segments or some industries or that type of art is not there anymore. No. Here it's just on, and it got its own crowd, it got its own followers. You have massive communities. And so for me, I was fortunate enough that I had a little bit of some contacts, that people that I knew online, like for example, like you, and of course for me, a part of me that I am a little bit extrovert, and I go and pitch on my own. So my first official residency was me going to a guy. Hi, my name is Amir Sharara. Here's my card. Here's my mix. Of course, at that time, 10 years ago, CD was still on, Here's my CD, and I'm open. Let me know what's happening. And then I get a call. We have this new venue opening. We're looking for a resident. What do you think? Can you come for an audition? Sure. And then I did it. Boom, Amir, you're the one selected, and here you go. I signed a contract for a couple of months, and it was amazing. Playing 2 nights a week. One of them, the ladies' night. Here it's insane. You have every night there's something, and it's been on since then. I had so many residencies in different venues, rooftops, lounges, restaurants, clubs. I did my own events on boats. And it's just 10 years. It's just so many things happened in 10 years, So I'm really happy that I managed to. I know everyone in the industry now. I work as an advisor. People ask me for advice, like so many tips and tricks. And I know the whole thing. It just too much, so many things happening, and it's beautiful. Sometimes it's overwhelming, and sometimes it's oversaturated. But I can't complain, because literally some weekends happen when I sit here, it's like I get confused where to go because there's so many options, And we are addicted to music, so sometimes you wanna, oh my God, you have this in DJ I wanna listen to, and you have the other one. Is guys, we have to make a decision,
And as far as restaurants go, because I'm a bit of a foodie, okay, what would be your top 3 restaurants you would say are the best in Dubai?
Oh my God. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you something interesting, because like literally like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, the Michelin guide, like the global French thing, they came and they actually gave Michelin stars to a couple of good restaurants here. So restaurants, I like a lot. There's this Taiwanese place called Din Tai Fung. It's not like an A-class thingy, but it's nice. And I just had a beautiful dinner last week in a place called Woodfire, 11 Woodfire. Beautiful place. It's actually a homegrown from Dubai. And where else? Oh my God, I love food as well. For the like Japanese stuff, there's a place called Zuma. It's nice. Italian, you have Roberto's. There is another place called Clap. All these places are in one hub called the DIFC area, where it's in the morning, it's like a workplace, and at night there's so many bars and restaurants that everybody goes hang out there. So
well,
there's 20,000 restaurants in Dubai, just to let you know.
Oh wow!
The gastronomy scene here is intense, like literally like crazy.
Well, Jay Bird asked, what was the best dinner a promoter ever treated you on?
Interesting. So I used to also DJ in a place called Oko. It's a fusion Japanese restaurant, and I used to get like massive like complimentary stuff, and they used to invite me and used to let me even invite people to come and have the right experience. So that was one of the best places, to be honest. Like the food, like they have this black cod, the sushi, like crab legs, wagyu beef, just endless. Just I mean, and it's actually a multi-award-winning venue. But unfortunately, it's not on now. They sold a franchise, and now it's open in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia.
All right. We're going to get a little bit back to the DJing side of things now.
Yeah.
And what is your drink of choice before you go on stage?
I'm a whiskey guy, but I do beers. I like to do beers just as a warm-up. And then I switch. My go-to is whiskey or rum. And then, but of course, I drink everything else just for the sake of a change. And then in between, you can hook me up with a tequila, one tequila or two.
And as a DJ, do you follow the charts and or what's hot, or do you follow your heart?
I follow my heart, but I keep an eye on the charts just to get an idea if someone talked, someone mentioned, and also when the other DJs are playing, I get to understand what's happening. But for me, like as I was telling you before the stream, is you have to be an indicator, follow my heart. Depends on the mood, and depends on the venue, the timing, and also the brief on where I'm playing and what's the audience like. If it's a private party, if it's like a ticketed party, if it's on a boat during the day, it's all these stuff. All these stuff matters for me. Yeah.
Was the biggest crowd you ever played for also your best crowd?
Okay, Actually, yeah, you reminded me. This actually there were two big events, but mainly there is two. I can mention both. So there was an event like a big festival. It was a very very interesting actually concept called Nokia Music Festival, but this was a while back in Cairo, Egypt, where they blended DJs with bands, and there's like four stages, and they are shuffling between them. Like this finish, this starts, and the crowd keep moving between stages. This had maybe like 6 to 8, 10,000 audience, and the other one was I entered the Heineken Dj Competition in 2007, and there was a couple of rounds, and I won the first round, and I went to the final, and I played in front of an audience of 5,000 people. I played along John DeGuide and Joyce Mercedes. This was one of the very interesting highlights, and there was other events, of course, but as a scale and as a production and stuff, this was good. And also, of course, one of my good friends, Ali and Fila, I play with them a lot, so they invite me when they do their anniversary, when they have their Future Sound of Egypt show every 50. They make a big event, and that one of the biggest highlights of my career. I played at the Pyramids.
I saw a picture of you on the roadside, and for some reason that pyramid did not look that big. I don't know if it's just the angle of the picture, if you were just trying to get it in there, but I was like, can you drive that close to the pyramids? I thought there was like no-go zone.
The picture with me with the car. You just pay the entrance. It was just
oh,
insane.
Okay.
You can not for the event, just for you as a visitor. Yes, you can just pay like entry fee for your car, and you can cruise around, man. It's just amazing. Wow. Like literally meters away, just insane. Wow. And then you get I was with my with friends, and I was just taking them around, and it was like fascinating, man. But to get to play there, having the pyramids and the Sphinx just in your backdrop, this was one of the biggest highlights of my career. And of course, I thank my good friends Ali and Fila for that. And the year after, I did also a massive pool party in Luxor in Egypt, which is in the south of Egypt. And next day, there was a big party at the Karnak temple. So what they do is like because I consider them as the ambassadors. So every event they do, they try to make it interesting. So international people, their international fans, they can come and visit. Instead of only music, they get to experience Egypt as well. So it's beautiful.
Awesome. I remember watching The Spy Who Loved Me as a kid. I'm a huge James Bond fan. And that part where they're showing the pyramids and they're showing the Sphinx and they're doing this whole, like the audience is watching. I could only imagine what it would be like being at a party with all of that lit up in the background. I mean, that would be so surreal to me to be at something like that. So maybe next year that might be a stamp on the passport. You, are bigger crowds better than smaller crowds? Do you prefer a bigger crowd setting, or do you prefer more intimate settings, or do you prefer both?
I prefer both, to be honest, but it's all about the energy. Mm-hmm. What are you feeling? Like a month ago, I was in Egypt, and a super intimate rooftop party. It started with 10 people, ended up with 60. It was mind-blowing. 7-hour set, I didn't feel it. And the effect and the response was just insane. You know this kind of stuff. And then big party with the big festival is just you need to be really focused, because you're trying to connect with as much people as you can. And it's definitely it's hard, but the hardest part is just reading the crowd, and getting a sense on how to cool it down, how to pick it up, and not to be too much, especially if you're doing the opening set, if you're doing the closing, if you're the main. So yeah, I like both. Each one got its own different flavor, to be honest.
Yeah, I prefer the big festivals, but when the DJ looks this big to me, I'm like, okay. But I like the intimate settings where I can literally walk up to the DJ and like give him a fist bump. What's up? And how you doing? And I like that aspect as well. And having so many DJs have been played on the show in the past, and being in their presence, or being in the club, with them. It's just really, it's really nice to just see what they're doing and how talented and how into what they're doing. It's awesome. So I kind of for the bigger shows when I can kind of see the DJ, but I don't like standing like this around a crowd because I like to dance. I like to move.
Of
And if
course,
I'm
of
just sitting here
course.
like this going,
Yeah,
it's kind of
absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
so I usually stand in the back so I can dance and have room to dance. But then the DJ looks this big. So tell us about the best experience you've ever had behind the DJ booth.
The best experience, mm, mm, mm. maybe, actually, this is very interesting. One of the first few gigs for me, I was in Alexandria by the beach in Egypt, and I was doing the opening set for the DJ called John W. Fleming. He's an English DJ, very very interesting
Oh,
guy, and. What happened is my set's supposed to finish at a certain time, but the equipment was not the one he asked for in his rider. So basically, he was kind of like discussing with the promoter what can be done and la 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 la. And then what happened is they asked me to play more. And at that time, it was still beginning of my career, you know what I mean? And I was just planning my set, exactly on this hour and a half, you know what I mean? Like the flow and stuff. So for me, I was kind of like, oh, what I'm gonna do now. And this is one of the things that I also love, because this unexpected stuff, that this is what actually push you to grow and actually learn more. And guess what? I played maybe like 30, 45 minutes extra, and this was more effective than the hour and a half that I had planned. You get it, right?
yeah. Oh yeah. I've had
So
to keep playing. We're not ready yet.
exactly.
And
And I'm
then
like,
yeah,
like for now, I was like, oh, okay. For now, I'm like gonna be really relaxed. I know my stuff. But at that time, I was like, oh my god. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? Okay, because I had literally kind of like stuff arranged in a way, not pre-mixed, of course, but I mean, like, I know what's happening, what after what. And this was amazing. And then they did an interview with the guy, and he actually mentioned me in his interview as like a big tap on the back of Amir, like he did a good job, like managing the crowd, etc. So it was so much fun.
nice. What is your pet peeve when it comes to playing a show?
For me is I always keep telling this to a lot of DJs, but the problem is some people get it wrong in a way. Is I always say, like, I have nothing to prove. You know what I mean? Like the guys that go either really hard or fast, people go the rushing, people that rush. Like me, like you're playing a certain BPM, then he comes after you. He's just like keep pushing the BPM. Like, bro, come on, relax. What are you trying to do here? You know what I mean? Like people are, especially the young upcoming DJs, which I respect and I support 100%. But I feel I look at them like how I used to be like 10, 15 years ago. But I was never like that. I always had respect and always had kind of patience. So the idea is the being rushing, and the people that also, like as you said, the charts part, they drop the full top 10 chart, like what are you doing? Like, well, I don't see any point. And the people that come comment is like, Amir, you started very slow. I was like, there's nobody there. Like, what do you think? I'm starting normal, like I'm taking things easy. I'm building up, I'm building up. If I'm playing like 2 hours set, what do you want to do? 2 hours start from like banging. And of course, I don't respond to that. It's like, yeah, guys, it will pick up. Don't worry, I'll pick up, la, la, la. But of course, in the back of my head, it's like, oh, again, stuff like that. So there's people that just, but it all comes with experience. You know what I mean? Like the common sense and on how it just as I told you, like respect the crowd, respect the DJ booth, respect the other artists. Like you don't need to rush. You don't need to show that. You don't need to make a bang to show something, especially the audience, because if you go too hard with the sound, with the bass, with the treble, with too many effects, it mess people's ear. It mess up the experience. So These are the stuff that really like quickly gets on my nerves somehow. And then I try to, you know, turn off my sensors so I can, me as Amir, as a guest, to enjoy it, you know.
And if there is something in the electronic music scene that bothers you, that was a pet peeve, but if there's something as a whole that bothers you, what would that be and how would you go around it?
That's a tricky question. I think, but I think it's all over. Like it's all over the world. Is, of course, context makes a difference. You know, if you know the people, so there will be a lot of favors, a lot, and your own entourage, your own groups, stuff like that. Sometimes it becomes a little bit unfair for the artists or the DJs that actually doing like they have experience and they've been into the scene for so long, and they just don't get the chance just because you don't know this group or you're not among them or you're not following them, so you're not going to get the piece of their event, or not going to play a proper set or a peak set, etc. And yeah, and the idea also about also the international DJs when they come, you know, like I see it a lot in the Middle East, especially also in Dubai. There's so many residents, really, really good artists and DJs, like they live in Dubai. They live in Dubai. They don't get a chance to play peak time because the club or the venue is only booking international DJs every weekend, and they just do opening set. Sometimes they do closing, but they never get like the proper peak time. So, but it's fine, you know, because at some point they get their chance on a local gig where it's only locals. They get the chance to play, etc., like that, stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely I have that talk with a lot of DJs here that are in the local markets. Is, you know, if you want to make it out of this local market, say you're in Seattle and you want to make it out of the Seattle market, what makes you a better DJ than a DJ that's in that local market, that knows people, that has maybe social media following, has friends they can bring to the shows that are going to buy drinks? Why is somebody going to pay $1,000 in Ryder airfare hotel to bring you? Let's say it's $1,000, just to make it
Yeah,
simple,
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
fly you somewhere, have you headline a show when they have a resident there or somebody who lives there that could probably play that slot and bring 100 people or 50 people and buy tickets to the show? You got to make yourself worth value. And if you can't get that value in your local market, how do you get that value? And that question usually surrounds, it comes down to money. And people start investing in themselves. And they start
Yeah.
investing in themselves by, maybe they start being active on their social media more. Maybe they get a website. Maybe they are releasing tracks and they're maybe getting some chart recognition, or maybe they're
Yeah.
doing some minor PR, or they're making those right contacts out of state. They're submitting to the right labels. You know, it's a business. And some people think it's just overnight. I'm a DJ. I should be up on stage. I can play that great. I remember a guy about 20 years ago. He said, I play just as good as Tiesto. So when I play in Seattle, I'm a local DJ. I should get $3,000 for that. I said, hey, you may be a great DJ, but are you going to fill the room with people?
That's
If
the
you're
that's
not
the that's
gonna,
the trick.
a bar or a booking manager isn't gonna book you if you're not gonna sell drinks. I had a conversation with one of our resident DJs, and he says his first DJ residency or gig he ever got, he was at a bar, I believe it was in LA. He sits down with the bar manager and he says, hey, he says, I want to play your club. He says, that's great, but I'm going to let you know one thing. Those peanuts on the counter are more important than you are. And he looked at it and said, what? I don't understand. The peanuts are more important than I'm the DJ. I'm playing music. People are going to dance. He goes, yeah, but are you going to bring anybody in here? Those peanuts are going to make people eat, and they're going to want to buy
Great.
drinks, and I'm going to sell more drinks. Those peanuts are making me more money than you are as a DJ. So it was his first lesson. And when he shared that story with me, Black Liquid, what's up? And give a shout out. You know, it's kind of like that made sense. And, you know, DJs have to understand that as performance. What's the weight that you're bringing to the table? I know a lot of phenomenal DJs. Our resident team are all phenomenal DJs, but could I book them at Tomorrowland? Probably not. not yet,
Yeah, yeah.
but
It's tough.
we're working on it. But then we also started throwing our own shows, and I only book our resident DJs for our shows. And if I book a headliner, then our residents get to open for that headliner. So there's ways to work around it, but I'm not a DJ. I have to look at that from a business standpoint,
Yeah, 100%.
and how we're going to do that. So yeah, it's very interesting. And with
By
the
the way, it's the same here in Dubai as well. The idea that you're talking about, all the small promoters, they cannot afford an international DD. So they try to make these small events. They make partnership with these venues, and they try to book the local DJs that can bring people. But think about it. I cannot have the same amount of people come every single week to the same place. Okay, I have and I push and I broadcast. I do my own promotion here and there, but people like to try new things every weekend. You know what I mean? And sometimes of some unexpected weekends, you find like, oh, amazing, you got like 50 people. Oh, amazing. And then next week, like 10, 15. And the promoter gets a little bit like, and like, come on, man, like, also use me to also promote, get fresh people, people that came that didn't know me, they can come now. And it's just a little bit tricky, but it's sometimes it's annoying because you feel like like you're doing so much effort, and I would rather focus on music, but it's a part of the game now, and it's fine.
Yep. I recently saw something. I've been bringing this up over the last week or two in interviews, that before social media was out there was a lot of artists got to spend a lot more time on production and training and set creation and in the music. And marketing was maybe 20% of that equation. Nowadays, they showed the chart nowadays, it's 80% social media promotion and 20% music. What are your thoughts on that, coming up and seeing the rise of social media, and how much does social media play in your life?
You're absolutely right, and it is kind of like a mini job, like yeah, like it's tough for me. Like I realized for me to just sit and just work on some artwork to post, and the timing. You need to understand the timing. I get this and some insights, and then when you're gonna post, and then you have to wait a little bit so you don't burn, because it's also the reach is very tight for you. Like when it comes to stories or feeds, it's just really annoying, to be honest. Like I have kind of an agency that I partnered with recently, just for the production of my artwork. You know what I mean? But still, not full artist management, not like posting on my behalf, because again, like it's a little bit of a personal thing, and maybe I'm not that on the scale to have someone manage my socials for now, because I'm not 100% full DJ, but I do it professionally, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Music never dies, so a lot of stuff. It's tough. Like sometimes one post takes from me like 30-45 minutes just for just collecting the images. Sometimes I do edits, the caption. Come on, like it's just intense, and it needs time, because for now I have, for example, so many type of content. It's either videos or my mixes, the live streams, and pictures, either from my gigs or just maybe traveling, or just normal pictures that are interesting, like lifestyle. It needs time. I need to schedule it. It just a mini other job beside you, whatever you want to do. It's just tough. I don't want to say
Yeah,
tough, but it needs dedication. It needs someone to focus on it, And nowadays it's much better if you get someone that is so much into this, and you can delegate this piece to this person. That's someone that you trust, and definitely have a sense of music and entertainment as well, to make sure that he's matching, so you can be relatable to the scene and the industry.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with our new company that's been handling a lot of our social media. They don't do our social media, but it's a company called Hello Wolfie. I give them a shout out anytime I can. I would check them out, Amir, if I were you. They're a great company. Lots of great stuff happening. They're awesome on customer service. But I had to make sure all my team members can get in, because I have all my DJs. I have my team members, my social media team, all getting ready to just do postings, and I set it up and schedule everything for them. So it's very easy for us to start sharing our social stories. You went to our website, you see how much content we're generating. I mean,
Yeah, it's tough.
it can be a full-time job because we got news stories coming out, we got interviews coming out, we got guest interviews coming up, we got our own sets, we got our own events, we got our contests, we got our VR nightclub events. I mean, it's so
Yes,
much stuff going on that it can be. I've just brought on 2 people to actually start handling social media, and that's in
very
addition
good.
to my 3 PR people, my website team, my web dev team, the 2 people on my VR team, myself, and 18 DJs I have on our roster.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
but you know what? I love it. This is what I love doing.
Yeah,
But you know, it's
it's
a lot.
no, it's
A lot of people
we are
don't know what goes.
you're
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes to make something like
exactly,
this work. It isn't about
exactly,
just pushing the play button, you know, or
exactly,
pushing the
exactly.
record button. I got a question
Yeah,
here that came in that I want to
yeah.
go from F Cellcore. I hope I said that right. Would you choose between Winter Music Conference or ADE?
The thing is, I'm planning to go to ADE end of this year, but for the past 10 years, it's Winter Music Conference. I went like 4 times,
Yeah,
and
we're actually.
I played one time. One of them was just a kind of small, intimate, like it was a like a reception of a hotel. A friend of mine hooked me up to play, but Winter Music Conference, the first 2 times was wow, such an amazing experience because I love that the weather. I love it's outdoor, the palm trees, the pool parties, boat parties. I was more into the day stuff, and at night, of course, it's an amazing experience. But Miami, you have to enjoy Miami.
Yeah, and what and so for us, the first Winter Music Conference that I ever went to was 2009, where the actual
Interesting.
idea of the DJ sessions was born.
Nice.
And I met Dave Dresden there and did a number of interviews with a number of DJs when we were there under another brand that I was doing at the time. But the conceptual design of the DJ sessions started at Winter Music Conference 2009, but actually solidified itself later that year. And when I had Dave Dresden come by and play my bedroom in 2009, it was kind of a big
Wow.
defining moment of going, whoa, wait a
Wow.
second. Dave Dresden's playing my bedroom and streaming live. We're on to something here. And we are
Amazing.
also planning to be at ADE this year. Just booked the Airbnb a couple months ago, booked the tickets 2 days ago. We're
Amazing.
super excited to be flying in. And while I wanted to make big plans for it, and I've never been to Europe, I've never been to Amsterdam, obviously, I've never been to ADE,
Oh,
never been to an
wow.
event where there's 400,000 people a day
Oh
for
my God.
7
It's
days.
insane. It's another experience. Trust me.
Yeah,
Forget the US. Like
yeah,
in Europe, the scene when it comes to you're going to the heart. Like when UK, Germany, and Holland combine, and also Swedish people,
yeah,
it's another level. Another
yeah.
level.
And so we're hopefully, I can't announce the partnership, but I did say something about it on Facebook today
Yeah.
that we're looking to
Amazing.
partner with a very prominent entity. I can't name what entity that is out there, but
Okay.
we're looking to
Yeah,
become their streaming partner and their interview partner. But we had I had all this plan for ADE, and then the more I talk to people about it, they're more like, you should just go and have fun your first year and try not to work it. Just take it
no,
all in.
blend.
You know?
Blend. Yeah, of course, not every day, but definitely set up meetings,
Yeah,
do this partnership 100%. It's going to open so many gates. And definitely you have to go roam around and explore. You have to. You have to. The amount of
exactly.
experience you're going to gain is just insane. Like context and experience is just mind blowing.
Yeah.
So we're going to meet there then.
Yes, we're gonna meet there. We're gonna be, and I just
Okay.
got word. I just got word from one of my DJs because I'm taking a few of people over there with us. But she's like, "Oh wow, congratulations on ADE! I'm playing there." Lucy Tudor, she's amazing. One of her
Nice.
first opening gigs she ever played was at the Brooklyn Mirage for Lane 8 and Late Youth,
Amazing.
New York.
Amazing.
She's one of our honorary resident DJ sessions DJs. So super excited. Stuff is moving. Stuff is happening. Couple final questions here before we let you go.
Sure.
If
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Hollywood made a movie about your life, who would you pick as the main actor?
Oh my God. Um oh my God. Wait, I will tell you the name. There are two actually. My favorite is Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Okay. and this artist from David Duchovny.
David Duchovny?
Duchovny, yeah,
Yep.
from the Hank Moody from Californication.
Yep.
Yeah, these two guys.
Did you watch
Oh
The
my God.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent?
I'm not sure. It's played by him.
No, it's played by Nick Cage. It's the movie where Nick Cage
No, no,
plays
no. I
Nick
didn't. I
Cage.
didn't. No, no, I watch all these movies, but I'm watching this. I'm definitely gonna watch it. It's so much fun, and I'm so happy that it's done nicely with a good, proper production. So to bring Nicholas back to the scene, because I the past couple of years, his movies were not that like wow. So yeah, for me, Nicolas Cage, Face Off, Con Air, and like yeah, he's my favorite.
You gotta watch The Unbearable Weight of
I know. I'm definitely gonna
Massive
watch it.
Talent. It's awesome. I just watched it for a second time a few days ago, and I
Amazing.
do really love Pedro Pascal's character in it as well. I believe
Yes.
he's going to be a really amazing actor, one to watch. Coming up. Just really awesome stuff. Well, I know we got to let you get back to work. It's late night there. I mean,
That's
of
fine.
course,
It's
you're
fine.
used to staying up late nights, but we're gonna let you get back to work. If you want to say one last thing to our DJ Sessions fans, anything you want to let them know about, what would you let them know about?
This probably this like in a month from now, I'm starting my new residency in a very nice venue called Bird's Cage. It's going to be on Saturdays. Very very beautiful venue overlooking the Dubai Canal, like in downtown Dubai. It's beautiful, beautiful. If you anytime you come visit or any of the fans come visit, just hit me up and I will definitely invite you there. And I'm really looking forward to this one. They have a beautiful, nice concept, just brand new place, and definitely get a chance to watch my live streams on Ibiza Global Radio UAE YouTube channel. So I have like almost around 4 or 5 video streams now. Get to my SoundCloud. I'm going to be releasing all these new mixes and guest mixes. And definitely, I would love to do one for you, hopefully soon. Just let me know when I can do an audio one for now, and then I can do a video when I have a proper setup beside the studio. And I'm going to Holland in 2 weeks, going to this Loveland Festival. I'm going to Egypt next week before it, just by the North Coast. And definitely ADE. We'll definitely meet up there. We'll take a picture together, of course. And if there are talks with one gig there. I will update you if it's confirmed. So you can just add it to your calendar when you're there. And also, when you do your partnerships, keep us updated. And
everyone will know.
Yeah. And anybody from the fans and you is welcome to come to Dubai, a beautiful city. It's rated the most popular city in the world now by TripAdvisor. So you guys are more welcome to join. Obviously, by closer to the end of the year, weather is really nice, and you're gonna have a fantastic experience. So yeah, and hopefully, I'm gonna be playing somewhere, so you guys can come visit me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And where can people find out more information about you? Where's the best place to go?
So the best place is Instagram. Instagram, I'm more active there for like posting about the events. Yeah, this one, correct. Just follow me there. I post just my life, my lifestyle in general in Dubai, and all my traveling, and of course everything related to music, and my events and my mixes, and also on SoundCloud. This is where you get to listen to all my music over there. I have so much music from more than 11 years, which is great. So you can get to see and listen to all how the music evolved across so many years. And obviously on Facebook, I have my fan page also, Amir Sharara.
I believe you have a link tree on your Instagram, correct?
Yes, I do that. So link tree on my Instagram we got the mix links to the mixes and all the socials as well.
Awesome. Well, Amir, thank you so much for coming on the DJ Sessions.
So
we'll be following up with you in the next 6 months, probably sooner than that, because gosh, we have August, September, and then it's October time. We got 3 months.
Yeah.
So we'll be reaching out to everyone to let them know we'll be at ADE, and definitely looking forward to seeing you when you're there.
Amazing. I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome. Well, have a good evening, and thank you for coming on the DJ Sessions.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a beautiful
You're welcome. On that note, don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Find us on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Meta. wherever. But the best place is the DJ sessions, and now including Roku, Amazon, Google, and soon to be Apple TV. But the best place to get all the information, news stories, live interview updates, past episodes, exclusive mixes, thedjsessions.com. That's Amir. I'm Darren. He's in Dubai. I'm in Seattle for the DJ Sessions virtual sessions. And remember, on the DJ sessions, the music never stops.
Yes.